All right, check 1 2, check. Sam Crescent here. We are live. Welcome to the Sam Crescent art stream, broadcasting from San Diego, Southern California. Yes, in San Diego. Currently, this is your host, the artist with 100 million years of industry experience, knowledge well beyond most normal people's comprehension, Sam Crescent. I am back on another live stream video. Let me turn down the soundtrack a little bit. You'll notice something is different. I now have the PIP screen, picture in picture. So as I work, you can now see and behold the awesomeness that is me. What else do you want to know about? There's not much more to say. We got to get going. We've got to get to work. Every now and then, I might blow my nose or huck a loogie. And unfortunately, you will now have to witness those things as I work. That's just a reality of my life. All right, let's get things rolling. I've got to warm up, and we've got to rock and roll. So, for the warm up today, unfortunately, my screen is here. I'll try to look over at you guys every now and then, but it is what it is. Let's get things going here. Get a good color. Move this up. I'm not used to having my face on here, and I'm not going to be looking at you guys or whoever's watching this. Nobody. Most of the time. It's okay. Okay. Let's go with I'll just keep this one, this felt pen. Eventually I'll load in some better pens and such into Quip Studio. Just gonna warm up here with some circles. Let's just get things going. All right. So let's see. I was up a lot earlier today, but I did not get on stream till 8 o'clock today. I'm gonna try and get back on stream tomorrow earlier even than this. But I was taking care of several other things this morning. I had to order a shed, which a cheap one. I buy the cheap metal ones, which I need for setting some things up and such. Work some straight lines. I should do some vertical lines too. In fact, I'll do that after this. And I don't want to do these circles forever. Let's work some vertical lines so that I just get practice moving the arm up and down. Look at that. Look at how bad my circles are once I started having to draw them with the vertical constraint. It's like my spatial judgment of the spatial relationship between these things has suddenly been skewed. Warm up going down. Okay, see now I'm having an easier time. It's like my brain already is starting to adjust to what it has to calculate or judge. I don't really know that our brains calculate things because we're not computers. All right, let's delete that one. Let's work some heads here. Yikes. More right there. This brush is maybe a little bit too heavy. Proportions are way off here. Ronan's not going to school today. Yeah. I'm not sure, but it's just like a field trip today anyway. So he'll go tomorrow. A little easier drawing things a little bit bigger so I can actually kind of see what's going on here. Still warming up here. Things are still off. Way too long of a nose. I mean, this guy is like, holy cow, that nose is long. Do one more and just get this locked in the way it's supposed to be. All right. Construct, construct, construct. I'm putting this in so that it forces me to kind of tilt this head down a little bit more. work a few more angles now. We'll start working the up angle. I gotta draw it bigger than that. Get this nose in a little bit better here. Remember, we have this kind of triangle action here. And we have a chin that comes down like this. Jaw here. This is wrong. Comes down there. That's the underside of the ears down there. Voice box. Sternocleidomastoid muscle. Collarbone. Trapezius muscle. Scalenes. Need to come in more there. Fix that. Let's fix this voice box here. Or the Adam's apple, whatever you call it. All right, let's see here. Let's work some head in perspective. So we'll do some perspective with the head here. Go right here and we'll do an upshot here. An upshot going over to the side. And we'll do a upshot to the other side going down. All right, let's see how that is. Kind of fix these boxes a little bit so they're the right dimensions. Now we'll just get the ball drawn in there. Okay. Do this one here. top of the head there. That's the ball of the head. I'm going to put the goggles on these guys here. And then this one is looking up. All right. Throw in, let's do our thirds. We'll do our line down the middle here. Third, 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 third. Here, 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 here. Okay. Nose there on this guy. That guy's nose there. Put in his goggles. Nose there. Muzzle of the mouth. Muzzle of the mouth. Muzzle of the mouth. Chin. 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 We can get the brow here. Top of the head. Brow line. Top of the head. Brow line. Top of the head. Let's get the jaw put in. There's the ear. This one here, jaws goes in here. You see any ears are right there. It's going to be cut more about there. This one here. Jaw's going to go here. It's going to go like this. The ear in there. For his neck, it would be a cylinder. Coming down there. That's pretty good. Constructing those heads in perspective. Let's go, let's do some neck muscles here. Let's work on this one here, maybe. We have this here. Got the side plane of it. Pulling this up and around. Got the front of the head coming here. And the jaws coming up and through here like this. Okay. Coming down like that. Now, we know that the ear is going to be here. We have that line that I like to do there. All right, so this muscle comes from behind the ear. And we know that it's going to come down to the sternum here. And it's kind of the thickest right there. So this is just for me to draw the belly of the muscle. Reality is there's no line there. Okay, that's the sternocleidomastoid muscle. That's what turns the head to the side. Let's get the voice box, larynx, Adam's apple, whatever you call that in there. There's that one. We have a tendon that comes off the side here because we've got the collarbone here. Okay, now this is the back of the skull right here. Coming off the back, the occipital portion of the skull is this thick muscle here, and this is the levator scapula, and coming behind it and around is the trapezius. Okay. That's part that I kind of like usually kind of don't get straightened out, so I'm trying to straighten myself out on that better. Levator scapula comes down off the occipital lobe, and it comes down through, and I believe it attaches to the rib cage, the top of it. I'll double check that. I'll look that up right now. Let's see, the attachment, origin insertion of the levator scapula. So it starts, it's not the occipital lobe of the skull. It's from C1 to through C4 vertebrae below that. And it inserts onto the scapula. So it actually goes behind. So I'll show you. So behind, if you're looking through this guy, back, okay, right here is the collarbone, the acromion process. And behind it, there's this triangular bone on your back called the scapula. If we're looking at it at the front, it goes like this basically. And it's got this kind of like ridge here, something like that. Okay. It comes up off of it. Bunch of muscles attached here. We're looking, this is the back view. Okay. The spinal cord, the spine's right here. Okay. This here is also where the collarbone in the front goes. And you have a bunch of stuff that attaches there. The levator scapula is going from the vertebrae up here down, and it's several vertebrae, C1 through C4, so there's 4 of them, comes down, and it attaches to this this spine here that's along the scapula. It's going to come down and attach to it, across it, there. And then behind that is the trapezius muscle, and that's, I believe, in origin is at the occipital portion of the skull. Let's check though. Origin insertion of the trapezius muscle. Yep, occipital bone. So behind this is you have the bottom of the skull here, and you have the trapezius muscle, which is huge muscle that comes out. And it attaches all along here, all the way down and onto the vertebrae. Okay. So from this front shot, you'll see the levator scapula, and it's going from these vertebrae down, and then we know that that's where the scapula is, and it's coming down and attaching to that. So it's actually would be coming out here more. Let me fix this. And we know it's coming off of the vertebra, C1 through C4. And then coming down from the occipital bone, which is the bottom of your skull, is this big muscle here, and that's the trapezius. And you won't see this because this will disappear behind other muscle and structure. But this is just so I can get my neck anatomy down even better. So here, this is the occipital part of the skull. We've got the trapezius muscle, and then what you see in here, that is what we can kind of see of the levator scapula, which would be coming out, and the scapula goes in probably about to there, and it'd be attaching along there. Let's see here. See if I can find any other anatomical diagrams. So here's another one. Here's another point of view. This is an interesting one. This is a Bridgman one. But so Bridgman's got this shape here. Now I've kind of strayed from our system, but I'll bring it back. So we know that's there. We know this is that side plane of the head, right? There's the jawbone. Rear part of the head. Okay, so here's the occipital part of the head. That's the trapezius muscle. Right here behind the ear. Let's fix this up a little bit. Sternocleidomastoid. Levator scapula. Trapezius would be coming down like this, actually. Trapezius muscle here. It comes down there like this. It comes way down. Levator scapula is behind this stuff. You don't really see it. And then you've got the sternocleidomastoid muscle here. Let's fix it so it looks more like Bridgman's. Brought that out. Brought this up. It comes up here. Here. You know, you could put well, you can't really see the nose actually. You would have the ear here. Side plane of the head. All right, that's enough practice and warm up. Let's get to making comics and stuff. How long has this thing been going? 30 minutes. I warmed up for 30 minutes today. It's okay though. I need to improve on some of this stuff anyway, so I still don't have the chat. Still don't have the chat fixed, but I got the screen action. All right, let's get going here. Even though it took me a while this is the next page. This is my lay-in. Even though it took me a while to I don't know what I was talking. All right. So already you can see with this, you kind of understand my language a little better now. Like what I'm doing here with these layouts. All right, let's get a new layer up. I'll draw this panel here. So we've got rocking looking down. Well, now you're gonna know how I do this because you've seen my how I construct stuff. What happened? Pen. Let's fix this. Why did I do that? Looks like I'm giving him a tiny head, man. Might have to size that head up. It's weird. I think I went a little too long with that warm up because I feel like almost mentally exhausted. And that was only 30 minutes of just doing stuff. It's weird, huh? But we're gonna get this panel drawn in today. This is kind of a tough panel because we've got 4 characters. They're all interacting with each other with a lot of complexity, which makes this difficult. There's a lot that has to be solved with this drawing. It's okay though. I'm up for the challenge, right? Nothing I can't handle. I'm gonna fix this here. Look a little bit too fat. This line. There we go. That's cool. That comes there. We know we've got our muscle coming down here. Collarbone's going to be around there. Collarbone's here. Deltoid's there. Okay. What do we got here? I'm going to fix this. Because the perspective's down on that one, so it's got to be looking down on this one. Otherwise, it's going to look weird. Bring that neck out there more. Most of that's being covered, so it's just, it is what it is. It's not going to go that way. Go that way. All right, what else can we do here? We got this guy here. We got to draw. This is all very hard. All right, let's get this guy in here. He wears glasses, so let's get his glasses in first. You don't see his eyeballs. I'm gonna have to construct this. I'm not able to visualize it right now. There we go. Man, this is like giving me trouble. Here would be kind of more like this. Let's adjust this here. Try that. Now I got this body there, so let's see. Let's just adjust this again. Since I'm not staying close to my layout as I initially had this. There we go. Try that. Whoa. Hmm. Guy's head's too small. I'm gonna have to make rocking bigger too. But it's fine for now. Fix this line here. Boy, baby monkey's head is like gigantic here. Let's just shrink it down a little bit. Let's see here. I think I'm going to do this. Gonna have his eyes closed. Got these big ears kind of coming out like that. Make this brush a little smaller, it's too big. That's about right there. That works. Now, the rest of this character. All right, the scene's starting to come together slowly but surely. I'm gonna have to adjust some proportions and such, but it was giving me some trouble here. It was kind of some complexity to these drawings. Luckily, the robot is an easy character to draw, so out of the woods with him. All right, that's all good. Pull that across. Get his monitor in there. His dials, legs. I think we've got a pretty good hand here for Baby Monkey. All right, we got this scene almost handled now. What's left? We need the rest of this guy. We got an arm here for rocking. We've got a hand there. And that works there. Whatever that is. That foot is whack. What am I doing? It's back here, so we would just see like these toes coming up. What am I doing? This is. There we go. That's all it'd be. And we'd have this here. That works. Now let's see here. Let's make we gotta make all these characters like way bigger. Leave evil robot the size that he is. All the rest of these guys need to scale up. Right there. Fix this arm here. And rocking, he needs to be even bigger than this. He is like one of the, he's bigger, he's much larger than Brain Monkey and Evil Robot. So I'm scaling him up. Put that there. Let's move this arm here. All right, that's better. Now let's I'll do the silhouette value and I'll fix the drawing as I do that. And then we'll basically be just about done. Let's see here. Let's see. The stream's been going for just an hour. All right, cool. We're on track now. Let's see. This is 8 brush thickness. Let's work 6. For some of these other line weights. This is off. What do we got going here? Take that out, take that out. A little bit of rendering there. Um, Make that go there. We've got to. Let's see here. We've got Hawkins leg there. Musculature. Some nipples. Shoulders here. Arm is here. We could put his hand there. Let's do that so that there's something like, doesn't just look like he's got like a disappearing arm. Whoops. What is going on with this?
we go. Let's fix this guy's chest here. Now let's go to the G. I'll draw the brain in there in a minute. Just want to put in a little bit of detail on these things now. That's pretty good. I could go more tonally and add, you know, more rendering coming around here, shaping out these forms more, but I'll leave that to the coloring. I think that's it. Oh, I gotta draw the brain. Hey. Go pen, pen, we need to go back to the felt pen. Let's turn off the layout. We don't need that. That helps too, because now we can kind of see, like, well, you know, need to bring this up more. The reality is, I'll do that in a minute. Get his brain in here. This doesn't have to be a perfect brain. We're just making it have some semblance of a brain. The reality is, this would be kind of like that. We'd have arm casting a shadow here. We'd have his head casting a shadow down there. I wonder if I should do all that. Well, why not? That's good enough. That's the reality of that. You'd have all this shadow too. Thing is, it's not really necessary to do that. I mean, all that shadow could be done with the color. I'm just gonna take it all off if I can. There's no reason to shade it because all of that will be done with color and it'll look better. It'll look more painterly. So I'm taking it off. Taking it all off. And there's going to be no rendering on this. Breaking my rules, man. All that rendering, I can do it with the color. There's no reason. That's as far as I can go. Appears that no, it's still taking it off, so I'll still keep going. Oh, my fingers are getting tired here. I'll get my finger workout in. I could leave it on this foreground monkey just to establish it for everybody else. Progress for this page, huh? Let me screenshot this. I'll post it on my Instagram later today to remind people that these live streams are happening every day. Tomorrow, we'll do this one. Another very complex panel with multiple characters interacting. This should be fun. And then we got all this. And here we've got... Oh, where is that scene? Right here. Got a million characters in there. And I think I have these characters, like, many of them separated out. And I've got the colors in there just so that I know who's who. What I tell you, it's gonna be a lot of work this page, but we'll have it done in about a week. First panel's knocked out already. Pretty cool. I could put the panel border on it, but we'll do that later. All right, let's make sure my work has been saved. And we'll close this. That was today's warm-up. Let's let me get a page out that needs to be color adjusted. And actually, I'm going to shut down. Don't need to save that. I'm going to shut down that, and I'm going to open up Photoshop, unfortunately, because I can just do this color adjusting so much faster if I do open it in Photoshop. Business, colors, finish colors. Let me see here. What do we got on here? On page 25. All right, we're going to work on this. So this is a page that has more coloring done, but we got to change colors of characters. We got to adjust things. We got a lot to do. So let's get that going. Find a page that I can use to match colors with. Should take a break, but we're not taking breaks today. It's too much to get done. All right, let me see here. Just got to find a page with this gorilla so I can get his colors all matched up correctly. This one's probably as good as any. Open this one up. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so this is a finished page. Colors are finished. Everything's done. This is where I'm bringing all these pages. You see, this is why I'm leaving these characters open, because I want to do all this rendering with the color, not with the lines for this comic book. But the character that I need to color adjust is this gorilla, this bad boy. So let's figure out what's what here. Let's just get the flats lined up first. So just shut things off. Oops. What is what here? Line art. Rendering. Rendering. Alright, so he's in here. Alright, let's turn all this off first. And let's just match this up first. So that's the color he's supposed to be. Okay, we got all the figures on the layer here, and this is the flats for all these figures. What is going on? It's like keeps playing the same flipping song. I'll be right back. I gotta check on something here. Hang tight, hang tight. I'll be back. All right. I'm thinking about maybe stopping this stream and starting another one. Just so I have the coloring session separate from the drawing session. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna take a short break, like a 10-minute break. So I'll be back in like 10 minutes, new stream going, and I'm gonna do this coloring session.